How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And as always here at 2A News Now, you get your Second Amendment news straightforward and to the point with no BS added in. It seems like almost every government agency is out to infringe on our Second Amendment rights. But I bet a lot of you didn't have on your bingo card the Department of Treasury? The U.S. Department of Treasury has been teaching financial institutions how to flag law enforcement for federal law enforcement based on your purchases. Gun Owners of America, Director of Federal Affairs, Aiden Johnston sent a letter to the Committee of Banking to shine a light on this huge invasion of gun owners' privacy. The Treasury Department wanted financial institutions to use merchant category codes, Zelle payments, and other data to find gun owners who were referred to as domestic terrorists and homegrown violent extremists. That's right, just for owning guns. The government thinks you're a domestic terrorist or a homegrown violent extremist. If you remember back in 2022, a leaked FBI document labeled anyone who had a come and take it flag, Betsy Ross flag, or a Gadsden flag extremists. If this is the criteria for having bank records searched, not many gun owners would be safe from being labeled terrorists. The feds weren't just spying on individuals or small companies either, but big industry names and GOA industry partners. I'm going to post up on the screen the GOA sent to the Treasury Department so you can follow along with me. And as you can see, this letter was dated February 7th. Dear Chairman Brown, Ranking Member Scott, and the honorable members of Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs, I write today on behalf of Gun Owners of America's 2 million members and activists and our Second Amendment industry partners to request that you hold Treasury Secretary Yellen accountable to the Second Amendment and her oath to the Constitution. Recently, the Select Subcommittee on the Weaponization of the Federal Government, Weaponization Committee, found that the Department of Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, also known as FinCEN, violated the privacy rights of gun owners and indiscriminately targeted gun owners as potential active shooters and international terrorists, domestic terrorists, homegrown violent extremists, lone wolves. Indeed, the Department of Treasury's FinCEN taught banks to search merchant category codes, Zelle payment notes, and other financial data for transactions with the Second Amendment industry in order to create a list of gun owners to flag on behalf of federal law enforcement. The list of targeted companies includes many official partners of Gun Owners of America and other companies which strongly support our Second Amendment rights, including Aero Precision, AR15.com, Anderson Manufacturing, Dillon Precision Products, Brownells Incorporated, Browning Arms Company, New Frontier Armory, Smoky Mountain Knife Works, Glock, Optics Planet, Sig Sauer, Sturm Ruger and Company. Gun ownership is extremely private information about an individual's choice to exercise a God-given and constitutionally protected right. For this reason, Congress has placed numerous restrictions on the federal government to protect gun owners. For example, the ATF is prohibited from creating any system of registration of firearms, firearms owners, or firearms transactions, or dispositions, and may not legally access records of gun owners during annual compliance inspections or with a warrant. Similarly, Congress prohibits the Federal Bureau of Investigation from misusing the National Instant Criminal Background Check system for establishing any system for the registration of firearms, firearm owners, or firearm transactions, or dispositions of records on law-abiding gun purchases must be destroyed within 24 hours of a background check's approval. Given Congress' clear intent, the Department of Treasury ought to hold firearm transactions data and gun owners' privacy sacrosanct. Nevertheless, the Weaponization Committee has caught the Department of Treasury teaching financial institutions how to search financial data to find gun owners by flagging potential firearm transactions. The Weaponization Committee has also caught the FBI misusing firearm transaction data by asking Bank of America for records if the customer had made any historical purchase of a firearm. And finally, Gun Owners of America has found ATF to be in violation of the Firearm Owners Protection Act prohibition on a gun registry. Indeed, ATF has amassed nearly 1 billion gun and gun owner records in an illegal, digital, and searchable database of firearm transactions. Congress cannot allow the federal government to continue establishing and expanding databases on guns and gun owners whether it is the misuse of gun store records and financial data by the Department of Justice or firearm transaction data by the Department of the Treasury. Data collection on guns and their lawful owners must be stopped. Gun Owners of America fully agrees with the Weaponization Committee that despite these transactions having no apparent criminal nexus and in fact relate to Americans exercising their Second Amendment rights, FinCEN seems to have adopted a characterization of these Americans as potential threat actors. This is truly pervasive financial surveillance of gun ownership and raises serious doubts about FinCEN's respect for fundamental civil liberties. To that end, gun owners would like Secretary Yellen to answer the following questions regarding the Department of Treasury's recent invasion of gun owners' financial privacy. Does Secretary Yellen believe that all those who shop at gun stores like Cabela's are potential active shooters, as the document distributed by FinCEN suggests? Does Secretary Yellen believe that buying something from Bass Pro Shop means that a customer might be a domestic terrorist or a homegrown violent extremist, as the document distributed by FinCEN suggests? Does Secretary Yellen believe the Treasury Department should be mass accumulating or suggesting that mass accumulation of American citizens' potential firearm transactions? And what protections, if any, does the Department of Treasury have in place to ensure the privacy of law-abiding Americans who choose to exercise their Second Amendment rights? Gun Owners of America urges all honorable members of the Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs to hold Secretary Yellen and the Treasury Department accountable. In Liberty, Aiden Johnston, Director of Federal Affairs. That's absolutely crazy, isn't it? But unfortunately, it gets even worse. Next is what they call the active shooter detection and what they call the transaction population query for debit and credit card purchases involving any of the following merchandise category codes. Code 3484, small arms including businesses generally manufacturing small arms and accessories having a bore less than 30 millimeters. Code 3489, ordnance and accessories not elsewhere classified, includes businesses manufacturing firearms and accessories having a bore 30 millimeters or more. Merchandise category code 5091, sporting and recreational goods and supplies, includes retail ammunition and gun sales. Code 5099, durable goods not elsewhere classified. 5933, pawn shops. 5941, sporting goods stores, which are the largest sellers of firearms and ammunition. Code 5999, miscellaneous and specialty retail shops, includes firearms and ammunition dealers. And code 7999, recreational services not elsewhere classified, includes shooting facilities or shooting ranges. And now here's what they call keyword inclusion. The above transactions must include one of these keywords, not an exhaustive list. And here is the list, and it's a big one. Academy.com, Aero Precision, AIM Surplus, AnarchyOutdoors.com, Anderson Manufacturing, AR15.co, AR15.com, B&T Industries, Backyard World, Bass Pro Shop, Blade HQ, BladeOps.com, Blade Play, Botac.com, BoydsGunstocks.com, BravoCompanyUSA.com, Brownells, Browning, Cabela's, CalLegalMags.com, CarrierComp.com, ChattanoogaShooting.com, CheaperThanDirt.com, ClassicCollectionFirearms.com, CopesDistributing.com, DawsonPrecision.com, DeltaDefense.com, DeltaTeamTactical.com, Dick's Sporting Goods, DillonPrecision.com, DLTTrading.com, DSG or Dick's Sporting Goods, DunkleBurgers.com, eSarcoinSeed.com, Edgeworks Manufacturing, EK Knife Supply, EKKnifeWorks.com, EliteDefense.com, FreedomMunitions.com, Gander Mountain, Geisley.com, GhostGuns.com, GhostRunner.com, Glock, GovX.com, GPKnives.com, Grabagun.com, Grindworks.com, Gunbroker.com, GunPartsCorp.com, Gunsprings.com, HarrisBipods.com, ImpactGuns.com, JP Enterprises, JPRifles.com, JSESurplus.com, CACIndustries.com, Karambit.com, KingFirearmsAndMore.com, KingsFirearmsOnline.com, MidwayUSA.com, MGMTTargets.com, Mike Gibson Manufacturing, mikesgunshop.net, Mike's Gun and Pawn, milehighshooting.com, newfrontierarmory.com, northshorefirearms.com, noveski.com, ntctrading.net, numerous gun parts, opticsplanet.com, oregonrifleworks.com, parkermountainmachine.com, robertsonTradingPost.com, Ruger, sarcoinc.com, shootingtarget7.com, Sig Sauer, silencershop.com, Silent Precision, smkw.com, snipercentral.com, SOG International, southernohiogun.com, spikestactical.com, sportsmansguide.com, stiguns.com, STI International, TACCOM, TACCOM3G.com, TACCOMcanada.com, TargetSportsUSA.com, WC Wolf Co., WideOpenSpaces.com, WinthropHolsters.com, WhitMachine.net. Holy crap, that's one heck of a list, isn't it? And I can guarantee you, if not all of us, most of us have purchased something from one or more of those companies in the past year or so. And that means we're on some type of a list. And I've talked about before in other videos. Where do we draw the line in the sand? This definitely has to be the line. There's no way in hell the Treasury Department should have anything to do with trying to teach financial institutions how to use these merchant category codes to put us on a list. And we all know it comes straight from the top. And that's little Sleepy Joe that has no idea what time of day it is, what year it is. He probably doesn't even know what his name is. And the other day saying he had a conversation with a French president that's been dead for years? This shit has got to stop, and it's got to stop now. As always, I would really like to hear your thoughts about today's video in the comments section down below. And if you appreciate this video and all the information that I gave you today, if you'd please help the channel out and help it to continue to grow. And all you have to do is take a few seconds of your time to like, share, and subscribe, and hit those post notifications. And I really would appreciate if you did. And I invite all of you back to watch my next video.